Hey y'all, Scott here. No, I've just been binge watching a lot of Scott the Woz. Anyways, we're back again for another exciting adventure into Infantry only on Fire Emblem 4. Now, for some reason, a lot of you thought Chapter 2 was going to be really rough for me. It's not. Chapter 4 is currently the chapter that is giving me a lot of nightmares and making me very terrified when I go to sleep at night. But this chapter really isn't all that bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not ideal, but this entire run isn't ideal. What the hell do you want from me? And that also brings me to a real quick point. Thank y'all so much for all the views and likes on episode 3. It's actually gotten more views and likes than episode 2, which, how the hell does that work? But still, nevertheless, thank y'all so much for giving this series attention, and I hope I can continue to be entertaining to you long into the episode. Well, that's enough padding out time. Let's just get right back into it. Now, this chapter begins with a very long period spent purely in the arena. This is going to happen in like every single Fire Emblem 4 chapter from here on out. The arena gets a lot more time consuming when you have a lot more than just Arden and Zell to go through it with. So there's going to be like 20 minutes at the start of every chapter just going through the arena. But this arena is actually a bit more noteworthy because it's where we're going to get our next unit, Holn. And all you have to do is clear out the arena with anyone other than Jomke. Or Medale, but how the fuck are you clearing the arena with Medale? So that should be easy enough with our big chunky boy Arden. And you'll remember that last time we fed him a lot of XP in hopes that he'd be able to promote at the very start. And I am pleased to say that, through an incredibly long, grueling process, he managed to get to level 20 with 3 XP to spare. God bless you, Arden, you beautiful bastard.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Duh.
And with his incredible promotion, Arden gains a lot of power and defense here. He is one chunky boy, and he is not going to take much damage, and he's going to deal a good amount of damage. His promotion also gives him access to an A rank in lances and a B rank in axes and bows, which would let him use the Brave Axe if I wasn't fucking stupid, but it does let him use the Brave Lance once we're able to get that, and the Silver Lance if there's ever a reason I would use that over the Brave Lance, I'm not entirely sure. And also, we can't forget the absolutely fucking busted Pavice skill. In Genealogy of the Holy War, Pavice just says no you to a random enemy attack with a percentage equal to your level. So 20% of all attacks that come Arden's way, he's just going to look at and go, "It's cute to me that you think that's going to do anything." And when that happens, I'm going to laugh. And when enemy generals do it, I want to kill myself. So, you know, and give and take. And would you look at that, we are 3.5 minutes into the episode and we haven't actually started the goddamn chapter. I am super good at this. But hold on to your seats, because there's more things we need to talk about before actually talking about anything. And that is Holn. He's the new recruit for this chapter, and he is a base Myrmidon, just like Ira. Now, he's not as fondly remembered as Ira, despite being just as good, if not better than her in some ways. Because, well, if I had to assume, it's probably because she is Sexy Sword Lady and he is Sexy Sword Man, and we do not give those Sexy Sword Men enough credit. I'm looking at you, Samson. So what Holn's main thing is instead of Astra, he has Luna. Rather than getting 5 free strikes, he instead can ignore enemy defense, which actually is better in some places. Don't get me wrong, Astra is 100% a better skill in like most fights. But Ira can swing her sword 5 times. It's not going to help her defeat generals at all. Holn actually can. That doesn't come in handy most of the time, but in terms of boss slaying, Holn is very effective. And actually someone I think is a little underrated. I really like Holn, and I'm glad we'll be able to give him some time in the sun. And after all of that, we can finally begin the chapter, and immediately everything is going wrong. See, the whole thing about this chapter is Latches and her 3 knights need your help, and you're supposed to bum rush to them as quickly as possible to save them from dying to the incoming barrage from Elliot. Yeah, problem with that, one of them dies literally before I have anything I can do about it. This actually can also happen even if I could use Quan and Sigurd. Like, this is a bit of a bullshit start, I'm not gonna lie. But rather than reset for it, I decide, fuck it. Like, they normally die anyway, and while the Night Ring is nice, it's not something I'm going to be too hard-pressed to have. Like, a lot of people go through this game without it just because these dumbasses get killed anyway, so it's not that big of a loss on my nose. Despite the casualty, truth be told, Lachis' knights clean up a lot of the knights from Elliot. The only real noteworthy thing is what happens to Elliot himself, as Jomke engages him and crits him, followed by continue proccing and hitting him again. As I mentioned when we got him, Prince Jam shoots at anything he shoots at until it dies. No exceptions. And so, we rescue Lachis, get her on our team, and I'm not gonna lie to you, despite this being an infantry-only run, we're not really gonna be using this particular infantry very much. Lachis' main claim to fame is an incredible power boost once she promotes, but she can't promote because Master Knight is on a horse, so we're stuck with Princess Lachis, who is not very good. She has a sword, but she can't really do anything with it. Her combat isn't very good. She has a staff, which is nice, but we already have Ideen and Deidre, who are much better healers, and once Deidre leaves us next chapter, Claude comes in that very same time. So, really, there's not much of anything Lachis can do for us, other than save our asses next chapter, but that's next chapter, not this chapter, so Lachis won't be seeing much screen time here. Now is a good time to bring up the villages in the center of this chapter. They're fucked! Yeah, okay, a bit more in-depth explanation. Lewin and Sylvia come out to save those villages after you conquer the first castle. Problem, at the speed we're going, we literally cannot conquer that first castle before they wreak a lot of havoc. So I have to say goodbye to the bargain ring. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to save that in time. Granted, I do get the Armor Slayer in time, but between the two, that's not as desirable. But alas and alack, we've kind of already accepted that a lot of innocent villagers are going to have to die for memes. So, I guess just press F for 'em in the chat and we'll move on with our lives. The trek to conquering the first castle isn't too noteworthy. We kind of just move up, kill the people, and keep going. The noteworthy thing that happens is Jomke shoots the boss Philip and continue procs like 5 times, killing the boss even through his own activation of Pavice. And I'm gonna say it again, Jam shoots until the thing dies. There are 0 exceptions. I fucking love Jomke. After conquering the first castle, Lewin and Sylvia spawn in, Arden starts making his trek towards the pursuit ring, and I decide to start greeting the forces to the north with an incredibly well thought out and strategic front line of an archer, a mage, and a thief. Yeah, needless to say, I'm immediately punished for this, and Jomke dies, forcing me to make a front line for this bit that isn't completely stupid. Using Du as a dodge tank and Holm as an actual tank, I start to brace myself for the absolute metric fuck ton of horsemen that spawn in at the start of conquering the castle. And before we go to combat that entire fuck of horse, let's talk about Sylvia and Lewin. Both are, as you can tell, infantry, and both are going to be very helpful to us. However, they begin a little too close to my liking. I don't want them to pair up romantically, so I take extra care to not end them anywhere near each other. I know you only need to be 1 space away and not touching, but, we gotta take precautions here. Sylvia's children are Lean and Corporal, and it depends on the translation patch. They're both good, but their stats really don't matter all that much. At least Lean's don't. She's a dancer. She's gonna dance. What do stats matter? As for Corpory, the general best father for him, in my opinion, is Claude. So we're gonna wait a bit to pair off Sylvia, and Lewin, I also want to be a dad. Just not to anyone I have in my army right now. Now back to the matter at hand. Despite how many horsemen there are, it's not nearly as insurmountable a task as it looks. The horseman stats, sans the boss, really aren't that high, so Holm and all of our other goons can very easily deal with them. The only frustrating part is the boss himself. He has the highly coveted Paragon Band, which doubles the experience of whoever wields it. That's really, really good, and I want to give it to Du, because Du can actually hold his own once he promotes, but have a hard fucking time getting there, so I want the Paragon thing to expedite things. I managed to get the boss down to 3 health, and Du only does 1 damage. I think to myself, if I can try to maybe just have him attack Du, have Du attack him, but in the end I decide, fuck it, Just kill him with Ira, not like she can't use it, and we'll just sell it to Dew later. Trust me, if there's anyone in this army who is not in want of money, it's Dew. Once Waltz goes down, the rest of the horsemen follow suit. Don't get me wrong, we do have to reset a few times. It's not like we get perfect RNG the first time, but most of it goes down pretty simply. Sadly though, we do axe off Beowulf. There isn't really any reason to keep him around because he doesn't make a particularly good father for anyone we're trying to use, and he's a horseman and his starting weapon is just a steel sword. It's not even anything worth grabbing for that. So, goodbye Beowulf. I like you, but this isn't the first time you've been snubbed in a piece of Fire Emblem media. I fucking didn't even include you at all in the FE4 manga. That is just sad, dude. Once the horsemen are dealt with, there's a big group of armor knights that stand as the last barrier between us and killing the boss and ending this section of the chapter. Now, while these armor units are noticeably stronger than the horsemen prior, they still aren't too difficult to take down. By this time, I've even managed to get Lewin back in touch with the main group, and we just blaze through them pretty easily, securing some nice level ups in the process. Now, while we're about to fight the boss, there are a few other things I need to take care of before seizing that castle. And that's a good thing, because it's going to take a while because I'm about to finally commit the sin of true boss abuse. It's not that complicated. I gave Ira the Paragon ring, so I'm like, yeah, fuck it, might as well just get her to level 20, and that's exactly what I do. I have her go one-on-one with the boss, abusing the Paragon ring until she hits level 20, and then I yeet that bitch back to the home capsule with Ideen, and then I have everyone else pretty much just get warped out of there. I have Lewin stick around to actually kill the boss when the time comes, and I just brace myself to prepare to take the last 2 castles. And that is actually where we will end things for today. Now, there's still a bit more I did before actually completing this castle, but I'm going to save that for next episode, as what I'm doing with Sigurd has a lot more relevance over there. I want to thank you all so much for watching. The response to this series has been very good, and it's been very fun to play. I hope you guys continue to support the channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to remember to start doing that more. I'm really bad with that. So I really hope you guys just enjoyed my suffering. Now, the rest of this chapter, I'm going to leave a spoiler for next episode, isn't too bad, but I shit you not, I really am terrified about what the hell episode 4 is going to do to us. I mean, chapter 4, not episode 4. Fuck. No, fuck it, I've already this far into recording this, I'm not going to start over. So, with that final fuck up, have a wonderful day, and I will see you all when we kill Jagal for the first time out of twice.